I guess it's fine. It'll be fine. Put your deck list over where I can see it. You can hear me, right? Still, Ricardo.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure you didn't mute me. Let's close all this crap. All right. The super duper gauntlet.
Yes. Hi, Michael. Well, I believe BK's deck can be a lot more disruptive, especially when you look at Ricardo's deck list. So it has a little bit of
I'm
time
just
to
checking
maybe
my
put up
dog before we
some
start. Let's see if
some
he has
strengths,
come in yet.
but I believe Ricardo is going to win. He's a experienced blue-white Stephanov player, and well, he's playing
Sorry,
awesome.
can you say that again?
So I believe Ricardo has the edge here. If BK gets going, it's tough to stop, but I believe Ricardo has the edge here. Well, Siphon out, yes. Trade wind survival, not so much. But I have some experience with the shrimp. I don't think they do. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's an important turn one play. Giving his deck list the time to get a missing piece, another land drop. I agree. I like the invasion ones as well, but that's a great choice. Okay, so BK starts with a white bordered forest and birds of paradise. Pass it back to Ricardo. It's weird to say Ricardo because we're Brazilians. I just go like Ricardo. He fetches. Let's see what color mana and Madeline Mage. Here he goes. See what they name, and then pass the turn.
All right, let's try that now. No, that's not coming through the stream. I think I know what's wrong on my end. One second.
Okay, I'll just. Michael is doing some work with his audio, and Survival of the Fittest was named as expected by Ricardo. You know, disrupting the toolbox from BK. Just Finhorn Elves, Chancellor Mine and a pass. Ricardo draws. Let's see what the follow up is after the Meddling Mage. Lotus Paddle.
I'm going to test my microphone again. No, it's not picking up through Twitch.
So he goes with Seal of Removal, attacks with Meddling Mage. Okay, now they can hear you, Mike.
Okay,
BK takes it.
there we go. I appreciate you holding down the fort, Kim.
Don't worry. So now we got some fireworks with the Tradewind Rider.
Hmm. I'll have to double check Ricardo's list, see what he possibly has available to be able to deal with this trade wind. If there's anything at all in the main deck.
Oh, in his main deck, mm, since if it, well, he's got nothing beside the Seal of Removal.
Hmm.
So also has Stifles. So maybe uh well-timed Stifle can do him some good.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, no sorts of plowshares, nothing like that in the main deck.
No hard removal.
But he's always got the option of Meddling Mage Beats. You can never underestimate the Meddling Mage Beats.
Yeah. I've seen Ricardo kill people with Madeline Mage beats, and he actually won the last season in the in the Premodern League here in São Paulo playing Blue White Stiflenaut.
Okay, nice.
He crushed the tournament. So Seal removal, and he goes
There's the
with
Vision Charm.
Vision Charm. Yeah, Brian's down to 16.
Wall Roots, that can soak up damage if nothing else.
Hmm.
And we're going to see the Trade Wind redeployed.
Okay.
Brian correctly playing around Days right there. Ricardo does run 4 in the main deck. However, no foil in Ricardo's deck.
Yeah, he he's feeling a little self-conscious about it.
Hmm.
In the finals for the São Paulo League, he played foils
Okay,
in his blue-white deck, and they were decisive in the finals against the Rock.
okay. Yeah, I can believe it.
So into the red zone. Let's see what he chooses to
Trade
do.
Wind's probably blocking the Medley Mage right there. That's what would be my guess. And then it looks like,
And going down to 4.
mhm.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. Well, Vision Charm, Stifle. Maybe he has some stuff to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of things which Ricardo can have here to be able to. There's the other Medley Mage.
Yeah, double the fun. Madden made skates double the unfun.
Now this is a strange name right here because I mean BK plays a lot of one ofs, in the survival list. So do you try to go with just a one off there, or is he gonna name? Okay, looks like we got
One
Uktavi
for
Orangutan.
survival, Uktabi.
Okay,
Yeah, that's. Have you ever seen a Madeline Mage named Uktabi before?
I'm sure it does come up, but I have not personally seen it, but I'm not a Dreadnought player myself.
Yeah, first time I've seen it.
We have
Let's
K
see.
Run here saying that he should name "You Are Already Dead." I'm not quite sure about that, but that definitely would be a quite a flex play.
Yeah, I agree. Like has an active Tradwind Rider. So
Ooh, now he's got two of them.
two. So let's see. Yeah, Ryan's right. A counter should be removed from Gemstone Mine. From his Gemstone Mine.
Yeah, if that becomes relevant, we can definitely point it out to the players. But
Yeah.
as of this point, I think that
If everything goes.
BK is either going to die to a stifle on the Trade Wind Survival or the Trade Wind Rider trigger, or Ricardo's going to be able to, or BK is going to be able to take over the game. I
Uh,
don't see much middle ground.
that's a deciding turn.
Hmm.
And Ricardo's playmat is the one he won just because of his championship in the league. So that's the league playmat
Very nice.
awarded to the champion.
How many players are you getting in that league?
Usually 17 to 22 per IQ per qualifier, and in the finals there were 16.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it was a really interesting tournament.
All right, so BK's lining
Survival
up the
Goblins.
blockers.
Ooh, let's see. Does he have an answer?
There's the stifle.
I, the Disciple.
There is a lot of toughness, though, in the way there.
Mm-hmm.
That chokes up
Three creatures
9 damage,
for,
and BK is down to 1. So,
facing three creatures. Yeah, seems like Rod, Ricardo Ricardo's deck did what his deck does.
mhm. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, people have been talking about Mono Blue Stifle Knot, of course, and obviously that's a very strong deck with a lot of good performances this last year. But you know, you can cram that, the core Dreadnought package into a lot of different shells, and it will perform. We've seen that with Ricardo. We saw that with Jens with the blue-red version in the Europe bracket. Uh, yeah, it's just very consistent once you put it together.
Yeah, there's something about 12/12 tramplers that kill people.
Yeah, I hear they're pretty
And
good.
they do, and at the cost of like one card.
All right, I'm
Like,
gonna just
so
pull up the
the deck list.
the deck list right here. Take a look at them. So with BK, what he's got available, he's got the 3 red blasts in the sideboard. He's got a Curt Ape, or not a Curt Ape, a Gorilla Shaman, which is not pictured there, but that's not going to do anything against the Dreadnoughts.
Hmm.
You got 1 Seal of Cleansing, 2 Naturalizes. You also have a Worship, which is interesting. I'm not sure if that's worth it, but it's definitely a consideration. Things to take out: Monk Realist, um, probably not going to be coming in. Other than that, you can make a justification for keeping almost everything in the deck.
I believe Winter Orb is going away. The
Hmm.
other deck can work with little mana,
Hmm.
like without
Absolutely.
so much mana, and maybe he's interested in like maybe sorting some numbers, but he has a tough decision to make because if he wants to bring like three red blasts and leave red open, mm, especially in the early turns.
Yeah,
But
true.
I would make an effort to bring the 6 cards. I believe he has like count on his red sources. Let's see what he's going to do.
All right.
Oh, Ricardo, on the other hand, has great options as well.
Yep. He's got Mother Runes, which can, shut off the Trade Wind Rider. Also, 3 Swords of Plowshares just to directly answer it. Um, Curse Totem, that's definitely one to bring in against the survival deck. Just a lot of activated abilities with that BK's running.
Hmm.
Serenity, that's interesting to run in a Dreadnought deck. I haven't seen a Serenity before. I do love Serenity as a sideboard card, but when your main win condition's an artifact,
Mm,
that's kind of
no,
a strange
I
one.
believe he is a concession due to the fact that there's a mud deck in the bracket.
Ah,
That he's like, okay, screw it. Like there's a lot of stuff they can do against me with like powder kegs and sphere of resistances. So if I can like whoop it out without like bringing green, maybe that was the reason for that. But he has great choices, and he showed us that he does he doesn't need counter spells to win
mhm,
this game. So let's see if he takes a line of like easing in the counter spells and bringing other forms of disruption, like Swords of Plowshares and Mother of Runes.
mhm.
Be interesting to see.
We'll definitely ask him about that afterwards. And regarding Serenity, if Ricardo does make it to the finals, and if Ryan goes to the finals with Parfait, Ricardo's going to be pretty happy. He's got that one Serenity in there.
Yeah, yeah. It would be a great choice. Like when he joked to play Fluctuator because there was a Rift Slide in
Oh
the
yeah,
deck.
the stabilizer, the anti-fluctuator.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Stabilizer against Fluctuator. Sorry, you're right. But now BK's on the play.
Yep, that's going to make a big difference here.
So looks like they both kept 7. Or not, maybe BK's mulligan.
We'll see if BK's performance here will prompt anyone else to pick up the deck. Trade-Wind Survival's always been, you know, a playable deck. I think most people respect it, but it doesn't see too much play. It's put up the occasional top 8, here and there, but um, I can't tell you when the last time it is I ran against a Trade-Wind Survival deck in one of the monthlies.
Yeah, I played against BK in the first round. I
Hmm.
was playing Snake and Show,
Hmm.
and if my hands weren't explosive enough, he would take over the game. I won a game like hard casting a chroma, but he stomped me. I believe the deck should be should gain a lot more of love and respect from everyone because it's a great deck.
Hmm.
I mean, any survival deck that has a mid to late game that overcomes must every other deck, obviously it's a great choice.
Hmm.
But the field seems to me a little bit unfair. Then maybe Trade Survivor needs some tweaks here and there.
Hmm.
I believe it's a fan favorite. Every time Ryan plays it in PSS, I believe in other gauntlets, was such a pleasure to watch.
Hmm.
And since a blast to pilot as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, BK, when we determine who's going to play which deck for the Gauntlet, we do a draft. So there's 56 decks which are just predetermined, and BK hate drafted this deck away from Ryan Grodzinski because he knew it was one of Ryan's favorite decks, and Ryan's played it the past 2 years, I think, um, in each of the Gauntlets. But yeah, BK took this one first, and it's treated him well. It's got him to a top 4.
Yeah. I can stuff matchups.
Well,
Let's see if
BK is
he keeps
quite good on
this.
survival decks. First time I played him was in a either Spring Fling or Fall Brawl, and he was on his you know his homebrew green red survival deck with firestorms and a bunch of good just good value green red creatures, and
Yeah, I
he stomped
noticed
me
that.
pretty well.
I mean, survival is an art. Like to play survival, at its fully extent is pretty beautiful to watch. Even if you're on the other side, I mean, who never lost to survival of the fittest? So after all, Ricardo is mulliganing
Okay.
because waiting for BK to decide if he skipped. If he was skipping or mulliganing, and Garn's going down to 6. Okay, he kept. Forest Pass. What kind of read do you get from Forest Pass, Michael?
Well, there's no scary accelerated start there, but he does have a wall of roots coming down. But obviously,
Yeah.
BK, I think he would have liked to lead on a bird. Or I believe you've got a couple elves in the deck as well. Yeah, 3 land or elves. That's the ideal. But wall of roots isn't
So
terrible.
no, yeah. Let's see, no dark and no survival. So why did he keep his hand?
That hopefully we'll find out here. Does he
Yeah,
have an answer to Meddling Mage right off the bat? He does not. Just going for a Granger.
Okay. Get the important mountain. I
Granger
believe
though
he's
is
going
it?
for the mountain.
Yeah. That's just kind of a glorified giant or rampant growth at this point. To pay the echo, you'd have to tap the two lands you'll have left and put another counter on wall roots. Uh, so I don't think if I was in BK's situation right there, I would not be planning on paying the echo. I think you need
Oh,
that
for
mana,
sure.
especially with a dreadnought coming down here.
Yeah. And he goes the stifle route. So Ranger dies. Let's see.
Karen
Uh,
thinks that trade wind survival is a little too fair to be able to win the gauntlet. What do you think about that?
mm, I don't think. I disagree. It's not too fair to win the gauntlet. You most surely can win the gauntlet. I think like bad matchups and uneven matchups go happen to everyone,
Hmm.
but I believe he can win the match. He can win. I don't believe he right now, from what we see, he's like amazing, but he can't win the gauntlet. Even the other, if it passes here, and what we got like come across Parfait, it's a winnable matchup.
Hmm.
Difficult but winnable. I mean, just the top four is amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. To get this far, BK just he beat out Pink Prison. It was in the top eight to get here, which very similar to Parfait in a lot of respects. So if he does, play Parfait in the finals, that'd be interesting to see. But judging by just BK's body language, that kind of can see right here, I don't think he has an immediate answer to Dreadnought.
At least to maybe he's afraid of Days or of Stifle against like an Uktabi.
Hmm.
Plays Uktabi, Stifle the trigger.
Yeah, and if he has a naturalize or something in hand, do you play it now, or do you play it when you can't counterspell it, or would you play it, next turn, where if he has a vision charm, it at least saves you 12 damage and allows you to live another turn.
Well, I'll play in Ricardo's upkeep
Hmm.
because I believe he took out most of his counter spells.
Okay.
That's my read.
Hmm.
And he has like that's my read.
Yeah, I think that's a fair
If
thing
you
to
have
plan
the
for.
red blast, if you have the red blast, that's even better. There's a reason for him to keep his hand. It was an impressive hand so far. So show us BK. Why did you keep it?
Whatever the reason is, he's deep in the tank. I think this is the third time he's tapped his mana like this. There's the trade wind rider.
So he's willing to take 12 damage.
Hmm. The shrimp go to smash face.
Down to 8. Well, that's a lot of lands for Ricardo. And so far, no deck manipulation, no portents,
Hmm.
no card draw.
Yeah, Ricardo's outland dropped BK right here, but BK certainly plays a lot more lands. I'm only counting, 18 lands from Ricardo.
Yeah, and he fetched the mountain,
Hmm. And there's
so he
another
has
nether
gas in
village.
hand. That that one's important. Do you name a disruptive creature? Do you name a maybe a one drop to to avoid like having three creatures? Let's see where he goes to with trade wind.
Well, there's an Oktabi. And the Dreadnought is down.
Okay. So that's why he kept.
Hmm.
Had the natural Uktabi.
And that makes sense right there. Play the trade wind before the Uktabi, because now the trade wind can activate, um, and then the Uktabi, of course, could come down the turn afterwards.
And he was afraid of these. That's why he was going and taking it back, going taking it back. But Ricardo didn't have it. And I suspect what does Ricardo have in hand? No way to protect the another land. Ooh,
Yeah,
he drew
definitely
poorly.
flooding out pretty hard.
Here goes the one named Survival.
And immediately BK fires off, the Enlightened Tutor going for survival.
Uh, I disagree with Ryan. I don't think we have a game. I think BK's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, once that survival lands and he's able to get a couple activations on it, I think this game will be over in pretty short order. He's got, of course, trade win for um, to bounce Ricardo stuff, but also to bounce his own Utabi and get as many activations off that as he wants.
For sure. He has a lot of control right now. Mm. Ricardo played 4 spells. Stifle, Dreadnought, Double Meddling Mage, and played 5 lands. Go figure.
Yeah, those 3 cards in hand, I really wonder what they are right now.
And down goes Windborne Muse to fetch a squee and get this party started. Ricardo had a Tormod script and a Phyrexian Furnace. Do you think he brought those in?
If I was in Ricardo's shoes, I definitely wouldn't because I don't think want the game to go on that long where you're actually fighting over the survival engine. You really have to just plan on ending it as quickly as possible um, and making sure that BK really can't get going. Because once he's at that point, I think BK just takes over the game.
I agree with you. I'm just thinking, what in hell can he have does he have in hand? More lands and a Meddling Mage. We know about the Meddling Mage.
Yeah, Ricardo is sitting
I'm
there with
surprised.
literally, a third of his lands in the deck on the table. And again, I have to applaud Ricardo on his land choices right there. He's got um, the lightning plains as well as the lightning island going together.
Uh,
I run the same
well,
um, in my land still deck.
Ricardo is a gentleman. You can expect nothing else. I'm a huge fan of Invasion lands. I really enjoy the Invasion planes. I always play those, but that's a beautiful one as well. And yeah, double off roots, 2 green mana for survival, one each turn.
Aaron, don't you worry. We have plenty of opportunities for you to look like an idiot many times later tonight. We've got a lot of Magic left to play before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch the best of 5 finals. Uh, I I really believe best of 5 is a great way to play a decisive game, a match of Magic.
All right, and we see Ricardo scooping him up there.
Yeah,
And we're on to game 3.
Yeah, that was all she wrote. He was right. He couldn't win. But now he's going to play for the third game.
Do you think anything changes with the sideboard for game 3 versus game 2, or with Ricardo being on the draw now?
Well, if he took the aces out, he can consider bringing those in.
Hmm.
He can consider. I don't believe that's a true natural play because he wants to play the Meddling Mage most of the times on curve to name survival,
Hmm.
and so and there's not a lot of turn one plays that he would like today's as well. So maybe if he took those out, he might consider bringing those in.
Hmm.
And from BK's perspective, I don't think he has a lot of changes to do on the play or on the draw.
Hmm.
What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you right there. And Days just in general doesn't seem great in this matchup because BK has so many mana dorks, so it would be very easy for him to accelerate past the point where Days is relevant.
Hmm.
I can consider, Mother Runes gets a lot better on the play versus the draw, just to be able to have more relevant interaction early on. But that's the only thing that I would consider. At the same time, that clashes with Curse Totem, which is an important card in the matchup. So you might just leave the mothers out based on you're banking on using Curse Totem.
Yeah, but I keep thinking, does Ricardo that get slower with the sideboard changes?
Mm. Yeah, that's a good thing to think about. Just you know, optimize for speed, go fast, and just trust that BK is not going to be able to interact with you before about turn 4. Because that's really once like BK's deck gets rolling, he really needs to survive to about turn 4.
And Raf asks, why did Ricardo name Tradewind with the second Meddling Mage? Because bounce is the only removal for it. No, he has Swords to Plowshares in his sideboard, so maybe he brought those in. But I believe he named the Sacred Tradewind to maybe prevent double activations or in the possibility to bounce the Tradewind to avoid replaying it and therefore preventing BK to control the game because Tradewind is the card with which he does that. And if he top decks a seal, but he has like one seal removal and lightning tutor for it and three swords to plowshares. So that's interesting as well, like the numbers. You have a prediction, Michael, for this third game?
I think we're going to see Ricardo run hot, and he's going to land. I'm predicting a turn 1 Dreadnought right now.
Oof! And no
I
guts,
can
no
only
glory.
yeah I can only go wrong from here. And what about you? What do you think is going to happen?
Uh, I believe Ricardo's going to mulligan for a more explosive hand, although without too many protection, too much protection. But that I believe that's his best way to to win because if BK gets going, as we just saw, if Ricardo stumbles here and there, so I believe you have to be a little bit aggressive. Your hand has to have a plan. You gotta have the shrimp early. Otherwise, like from 1, 2, 3. Other than that, you're not going far. As I saw in game one, the turn 3 shrimp and then disrupting BK's disruption was the way to win. So with this tie from the trade wind activation. And both players are mulliganing down to 6, so more average hands probably are going to appear.
Good luck, Raphael. Patrick is certainly a worthy opponent, so good luck to the both of you.
Let's see, turn one Dreadnought
That's what the
in
folks
blue
came
white.
here to see.
I agree. This Mulligan down to 6. Spend 3 cards. Pass the turn. Smash for 12. What about the people in chat? Any predictions for this third game?
Now is Ricardo at 5? I believe this is an additional mulligan here.
No. I agree with Ryan. The moves benefit the Trinwin survival. Unless like an amazing hand, something like you keep 5 cards but make 2 shrimps. Otherwise, I agree with Ryan.
Yeah, I would say in a matchup like this, Ricardo, he's got 3 gushes to kind of unmulligan himself if he needs to. But yeah, the amount of interaction that you need to be able to deal with, BK's disruption, that's going to be really difficult to deal with on only a 5-card hand. If that's what it looks like Ricardo mulled down to.
Yeah. Ricardo kept 5. Let's see what BK does. I kept 5. Brian is on.
We're determining here. He's on 4.
Brian's on 4. Okay. He does, Ryan. And he is a great alterist. He does alter cards as well. And I played him in the Gauntlet with Pete Rack, and he played Replenish. I won, and he altered the rack for me, so I can put it in the deck.
Very nice.
It was beautiful.
All right, my prediction's already out. No turn 1 Dreadnought coming down. We're going to see a Portent.
Let's see if he keeps or if he shuffles.
It'll be interesting to see here if Ricardo kept a strong hand, if we're going to see a turn 2 Dreadnought coming down, or if it was just a keepable 5 at that point. Ricardo didn't want to go down any further.
Mountain. Yeah. Land pass. Little bit of the draw go.
Here comes the bird. No impulse or any other response from Ricardo. And there's the totem. So that is a must answer from BK right now because, yeah, his deck just does not function under a Curse Totem.
Yeah.
So if he can follow that up with a Meddling Mage to name Naturalize, BK is going to have a very difficult time winning.
Let's see if he has white mana and the card. I mean, the mulligan was rough, but BK maybe needs a top deck because he has lands, he has some creatures. Let's see. So just passing the turn. Elf beats and 4th land. Namut 4. There's our white mana. Silver removal and pass.
Looks like BK is just coming in for the 1 and possibly thinking about a play, but nothing slamming down or no big plays from BK. He just passes to Ricardo.
Ricardo draws.
Ryan says cast
Ryan,
the squee.
he did it against me. Cast the squee.
Casting a squee in a non-Cabal therapy deck is a very sad play.
Indeed.
All right, we do see the
Oh, he's
gush
gushing.
and a red
Does this guy
blast,
red blasted?
or BK's thinking about there. No, he does in fact have the red blast. Wasn't bluffing. And there's a counterspell.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful counterspell, by the way. I'd love to pick up some arena promos of that.
And really enjoy 7th edition foils for counterspell. I like the city man floating under the colors.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful. So cash results. So he wasn't bluffing the turn one mountain. He did have the red blast. And here comes Meddling Mage.
Yep. Game and survival.
Yeah,
And now
good
Meddling
stuff.
Mage is the biggest creature on the board.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we have double blocks. If he double blocks the silver removal, it's one. I don't think it's a necessary play, but definitely one that can happen.
Hmm. If he's able to land another Meddling Mage, I'd say that's something you definitely want to do, just because then you're pushing the most damage on the board. But at this point, with Ricardo at 17, yeah, it's not really beneficial for him to try to race at this point.
Yeah. And right, that's what I meant. If my English wasn't great, if he tries to double block, gets screwed, but silver removal is used. That's a that's a good comment. Like, who's the beat down now, and who's the control deck? Of course, the Totem Seal removal, Meddling Mage.
Yeah, with the Cursed Totem, down on the board, and the Meddling Mage, I would say Ricardo is favored from this position.
I agree,
There's still a
and
lot of
he can draw more cards.
yep,
Sorry, Michael.
no worries.
He,
BK does have the mana advantage though. He's got 5 lands out, so he can really cast anything in his deck, which he draws. So yeah, deranged hermit would be super scary in this position. And we say a trade wind survival or a trade wind rider coming down.
yeah. Okay.
And that does attack for damage in the air. Little known fact about trade wind rider.
It flies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Ryan, you being the Tradewind expert right here, which is more desperate, casting the squee or attacking with Tradewind?
Ryan's so happy right now. Attacking with trade win. I can see this.
The Dreadnought is stifled.
3 cards in hand for Ricardo.
Now, if BK can answer the Dreadnought, do you seal it back to your hand at this point, or would you wait to use the seal on a different target?
Well, it depends what he has in hand.
There's
If he can, okay. Oh, your question is going to be answered. If I can like stifle the trigger or vision charm That's fine. Otherwise, and he has swords to plowshares targeting the trade wind, I believe. Taking one, down to 18. Neutralize. The cursed totem. I also believe.
I would say that's a good target right there.
Yeah, he's asking.
Now this is where knowing the
Oh,
targets is really important to the game state right here, because what's the plow targeting? I would be targeting the trade wind for sure.
yeah, and I believe that's what happened. Neutralize takes out the cursed totem. The swords to plowshares. Oh, Octavio is still in the stack. Oh, Octavio was on the stack.
All right.
They didn't save it with seal removal. Trade wind
The trade wind bounced
bounced
itself back to the
itself.
hand.
Hmm. Oh, what a play! And a move to 4.
Oh, there's the counterspell. So Ricardo's going to take some beats here.
Yeah, he's down to 13.
Yeah, you really can't afford to give up on that meddling mage. Not now.
Hmm. I agree. Because we have to ask Ricardo his reasoning on not using the. Don't. He didn't put the trigger of the soul removal. Romario, it's game 3. Blue white was on the play, and Mulligan is down to 5. Trade wins was on the draw, and Mulligan is down to 4. Fetching for planes. Sea of Claims impasse. Attacking for 2. Yeah, bringing the beats. Gotta win the game. Yeah, I agree, Jared. It was great.
Yeah, I think this game is really going to come down to the timing of the swords to plowshares.
Mm-hmm. Because
Oh,
now Octavio is always in the red zone. Important. Okay.
so Ricardo gets to look to up to 4 cards here. And with 3 dreadnoughts left in the deck, and we're well into the game, there's a good chance that Ricardo's able to find something.
Let's see. And no shuffle.
That's a good sign.
He has to draw on the upkeep. Okay. Attacking for two more. Ricardo's down to six. Let's see. Okay. Was the play BK?
And now the
Yeah.
elves start coming in. Or he's at least considering it. And with the Mother Runes on the board, that is probably the correct thing to do. Just push as much damage as you can at the moment.
Of course. And maybe he draws something to go even wider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that BK's best draw at this time is probably Deranged Hermit.
Oh, definitely.
And he gets another Tradewind Rider.
Flying one. And Counterspell.
Yep. Well, after taking some hits from the orangutan, for a good 6 turns right there. I mean, Ricardo has somehow stabilized, and here's a Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And we got the Vision Charm, and Ricardo has the Mother Runes.
And I'll be kidding off roots that he keeps showing us.
Yeah. Tipping the cards a little bit. Now BK's at a healthy 17. He's got a Wall of Roots that can soak up another 5 plus the orangutan, so he can take 3 hits here from the Dreadnought.
Yeah. It's a great match.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. A lot of fireworks in this Mulligan game. Cool. More 5 toughness. Now, Pro Green wins the game.
I believe it does. Just if Ricardo, if he doesn't have any counter magic in hand, does he want to open himself up to naturalize, or does he just want to take the attack? And I think just taking the attack here is correct, unless he has counter magic.
Oh, I agree.
He's going to he's going to seal one wall to
take 7.
Yep.
And that's the match.
Wow, that was some back and forth, great pre-modern magic right there.
Goosebumps.
I'll go ahead and unmute the players.
Awesome stuff.
And I'll let them know that they can unmute us at any time. Ricardo, BK, can you hear us?
Can you hear us now? Awesome match, guys. Really awesome. Wow, great to watch.
I still cannot hear them, so I'm going to refresh here, and hopefully that helps.
Happen and then
yeah, me too. But the
My deck just drew dead though after
Yeah,
that.
and
It
the
did not.
portent, my portent was gas. So
Yeah.
Uh,
uh,
Ricardo, can I ask you a question?
sure,
Of first, congratulations,
thanks.
awesome. Bye, Brazil. Couldn't help myself.
Yeah,
Ricardo, when the huge stack happened,
yeah.
what was the reason for you to not pull the trigger and bounce the dreadnought back to your hand with your own seal of removal?
I had another dreadnought in hand,
Okay.
so I figured the seal was better still on the table for later if he has another trade wind later or something like that.
Wait, you enlightened tutor for Dreadnought when you already had another Dreadnought in your hand?
Yeah, because there's nothing else for me to
Oh, because you'd drawn both seals, right?
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. I was surprised you brought the moms in. I was like, that kind of shocked me.
Yeah, so the months haven't been good in
It kind of
basically any.
saved you though, right? Like,
Yeah, no, they haven't been good, but they were very good in the top eight match. And I figured, so I this is what I boarded out. I boarded out the daisies because,
yeah,
especially, you always, I mean, maybe not in this game where you mulligan to four, but they're usually dead late game, and the petals as well. Because these are basically dead cards late in the game,
hmm
and they're good against removal. So, I mean,
yeah.
they're
I
good
did not
against.
play around days after the first game just because I assumed
Yeah, yeah,
they were leaving.
sure. They're good against decks that have disenchant effects, but that can't kill her, like, right, that won't have whatever bolt
Mhm.
or swords. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Mario rules.
if I could have just got to an enlightened tutor, I'm like, just please, Massacre, where are you?
Massacre,
The
yeah, yeah,
whole
Massacre.
time.
Massacre is a killer. Uh, all right, so
But good luck. Thanks for the gives. I'm gonna take it. Do you have any questions for us? I don't know anymore.
So the only question I had is with the Swords to Plowshares, going on the Tradewind Rider, which BK responded to. What was the reasoning for playing the swords at that time?
because if he doesn't have the naturalize, then I kill the trade wind before he can bounce my. Because when he played the orangutan, I had two artifacts, right? I had the
Yeah.
dreadnought and the cursed totem. So if he can activate, let's say I have nothing, he kills the cursed totem, then bounces the dreadnought or bounces the orangutan. And my reasoning was I could kill his trade wind before he activated it. That was my. But then he
Mhm.
had the naturalize in response.
Yeah. I think you're supposed to wait for me to put the Uktabi on the stack though. Like you should respond to me targeting
Oh,
your
the trigger.
I
I see. I see.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
thinking about that towards the end of the stack, but then I decided that's
Yeah. Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
have been like a really weird rewind to go back from there.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No, that's true. But I mean the but I think you have to target the cursed totem. I think, right? Anyway.
yeah,
Um,
but if when the orangutan comes into play, what do I target though? I probably
no. No. Oh, I
target
see. I see. You probably.
I probably
I
target the
see.
totem, then you plow my trade wind, and then
And then you have
I'm in the
to do the
sticky
totem again.
situation of
Yeah.
do I
Yeah.
use the naturalize on your curse totem again,
Yeah. Yeah.
or do
No,
I
that's
kill
right. You've been
your
waiting for the.
yeah? And
Uh,
I think I probably would have naturalized your. I think I would if you would have let the Utabi. I was planning to target the curse totem,
uh-huh.
and if you would have played it that way, I would have just naturalized your dreadnought because I'm
Sure.
not going to take any chances there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and my trade one got plowed, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
May,
that would have been better. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
may I say something from a view perspective? It was surprising when BK arranged the stack and we discovered that Uktabi wasn't in play, was on the stack
Right.
as
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah. No.
swords
No. That
and other
was
responses began.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
so it's on the stack, and
yeah I
that
tried
maybe
to. I was
okay.
thinking about that too. I'm like, I want to like show the viewers that it's for the stack because like.
But the natural thing was to like there was a trigger, and therefore
Mhm.
the we start thinking he's going to use your removal and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but that's clarified.
Yeah.
Okay, uh, I'm going now, and just want to
All right. So we're gonna
Right. Take care, Kim. Thanks.
thank you so much, Kim.
I'll stay on the Twitch and watch. Thanks for having me. Good luck, Ricardo, in the finals.
Thanks.
See
Yeah. Good
ya.
luck, Ricardo.
All right. Well, congrats, Ricardo. You're on to the finals now, and yeah, we're gonna take a look at Galen's and Ryan's decks here just as we get prepared for their match. Though before we get into that, I did want to give an update just on the bracket challenge. I think that's the most fun part. Uh,
Yeah, I had Brian winning the bracket. Yeah. So
So you are out right there. But yeah, the placings right now
yeah.
we have the troll king himself, Ron Dijkstra, with 44 points. We have Nils Hakon Delphin with 43. We have our own Galen LeMay with 42 points. And then we have one of the Discord regulars, Marine Biomancer, with 41 points. So all these predictions right now for the semifinals, they're worth extra points. It's 3 points here for the semifinals, and if you do pick the winner correctly, that's worth 4 points. So there's a lot that could happen here
Yeah.
with these final brackets.
Mhm.
But
Rick, Ricardo, you should have taken a dive because you were the one who picked me, right? You told me like, didn't you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
you
yeah.
had the trade win deck to win the whole thing?
I had the trade in deck winning.
Yeah, he was winning no matter what.
Sure.
pretty much either wins the gauntlet or he wins the bracket. So
Yeah.
can't complain about that.
Although with draws like that, I don't know, I gotta be perfect.
Yeah, that's the whole goal right now is just to beat Parfait. So I've got Ryan's deck here up on the screen right now. It looks pretty standard Parfait list. We've got he's got 4 of the Druids, and then he's got the Ancestors Chosen and the Shard Phoenix. Here is the payoffs. Um, anything that kind of strikes, your um, is interesting or kind of out of the ordinary is all pretty stock, do you think?
Yeah. Let me check his list here.
Yeah, it's pretty stock list overall.
I don't remember. He played me in the first round. He has Durances, right? Because I remember him.
Yeah, he's got
Uh,
2 duress in the main deck, and
yeah.
then does have Gerard's Verdict in the sideboard. He's got 4 Swords of Plowshares. Um, he does have a Ray of Revelation main deck. Um,
Oh, I'm gonna get going. I don't realize. I was like, I don't know who's commentating here. I'm getting out.
yeah,
Have fun, guys.
well, Ricardo can't he can't commentate the finals now because Ricardo's playing
Yeah.
in it. Um, but yeah, we're welcome to see you in the finals, BK. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a pretty standard list. The key thing for him in this matchup, I think, are the Swords of Plowshares. Um, Maybe one of the weaknesses of the Parfait deck is fast combo decks, and the Oath doesn't do much versus the ghouls and um, so if Galen can get an early Hermit, I think he's favored. Um, and then as most cases when you have control matchups, the longer the game goes, the better it is for Ryan.
Yeah, so and then Galen, he is pretty much on card for card with Fiastel's winning deck list from LobsterCon last year. This is, pretty much the standard when it comes to Angry Hermit right now. Um, he's got, the 4 duress and 1 Cabal Therapy to be able to disrupt um, Ryan with the main deck. And then in the sideboard, he does have 2 Ray of Revelations, um,
Yeah.
which are going to be really important to be able to deal with if Ryan's um, really just good stuff. Other than that, there's not too much. Sylvan Safekeeper is definitely
Hmm.
But he's had 5 round, or this is gonna be the 5th round that he's played, so he's had
Yeah.
some experience, gotten some reps, with the deck. Let's see
Yeah.
if he feels more comfortable.
The Angry Ghost definitely has more decisions or more difficult decisions, I think, than the regular Stifle. Uh, but if I had to guess, I would say he's slightly favored in this matchup. And I think Flint did beat Rich Shea in the top eight, didn't he? Or in the finals of the Lobster Con last year.
Yep, this is
So
pretty much
an exact copy of the match, right? Yeah. And I mean, naturally, Flint is the master of the deck, but I do think the fast combo should be slightly favored in this matchup.
I would say so as well, especially taking a look at what Galen is able to have on the sideboard versus
Yeah.
what Ryan has on the sideboard. There's not too much that Ryan can really bring in. Definitely the medley mages. I don't think that Rich was playing those in the LobsterCon list. That certainly helps against
No. Yeah.
Robo, but with Angry Hermit having the multiple
Hey,
approaches, um, medley mages are
Michael,
really
they
tough.
can't hear you at all. I just wanted to jump in because
Okay.
we're trying to tell you in the chat. You should try
Oh,
to up your volume a little bit or
that's
something.
weird. Because I can hear him fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear him fine here, but
yeah, I can hear him fine here too. But
oh, it's
I
something on
just
the
was
stream. Yeah.
I could hear you can hear Ricardo fine, but for some reason you're like almost a
Uh-huh.
whisper. Like it's really hard to hear you. Even I have it like cranked.
Brian, we need to talk.
Wow, what I do?
I love you.
I
Yeah,
Ryan, I fought as hard as I could on 4 cards.
No,
Four,
absolutely.
I had 4 cards. I made them count.
You did. You did absolutely.
Let's see if can you guys hear me all right? No. Can you guys hear me now? Is that a little better? Ricardo, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. But I don't have Twitch on. I only have the.
I'm gonna jump out. Just look in the chat. I'll let
Okay.
you know
Okay.
whether I can hear you guys or not.
Yeah, there was something with it on Twitch.
It happened when you restarted or when you refreshed.
Okay, let me try refreshing again and see if that helps. I'm gonna check my settings in whereby.
Yeah, Brand says still super quiet. And Galen's.
All right, let's try this now. What about Twitch? Can you guys hear me all right? I'm not showing anything on Twitch now. And Ricardo, you can't hear me?
Yeah, here in the
Okay.
whereby you can hear you fine. Yeah. Whereby you can hear.
All right, I'm trying to adjust the settings. All right, I'm going to test with Twitch chat, but I don't see it getting any louder. Yeah, that's really weird. All right, I'm trying again. And yeah, it's dead. Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
Yeah, whereby it's still fine. I can hear you loud and clear. So it's
Yeah, I can see in the Twitch like sound mixer, like if the primary microphone, but then like the stream audio output, and the stream audio output is like nothing.
yeah. So Brian says it's yeah, Twitch setting. And Galen says you're quiet but audible on stream.
Let's try that again. Nope. Okay, I'm trying to test through Mac settings, and it seems fine. I'm gonna go ahead and restart um, the stream here really quickly, and we'll be right back. So